Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's go live. Got most of my credit work did. So you all come on in. Periscope, swipe right, share, share, share. Get those digital love, get our hearts. Hello, Jesus. You the first one on tonight. What's up, California? Jesus, I'm glad you're on. Hello, Nadia B. Hello, everyone. I have a question for you since you're from California, just to see if this is accurate and true. I heard on YouTube University, so I'm not sure how accurate this is or true it is, that every person in California will have to take like a vaccine test, and in order to go back to work. And if they've taken the vaccine test, they will have some type of tattoo or something, symbol on their wrist or arm. Since you're from California, let me know if you've heard of that. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Hello, Periscope. Hello, hello, hello. You heard the same for New York, Brandon? What? I just really thought, I said, nah, this got to be some conspiracy stuff. Okay, Jesus said he haven't heard of that. Okay. I was just making sure. Brandon, where did you hear that? Hello, first time, feel free on Periscope. You are not from the South, you don't know what this is. This good old mason jars, right? If you got a grandmother that used to make those goods and store them in the mason jars, then you're gold right now. You are gold. So let me get into the topic. All right, hello, Jackson, Mississippi. Thank you so much, Periscope, for the digital love. Thank you so much. Let's get right into the topic because I had someone actually on my this is a video I still got up. And while I'm getting this prepared, Brandon, let me know, where did you hear that in New York? They talking about, don't know how well that's going to go over. Okay, he says they're talking about in New York actually having where people were mandated to get vaccinated, where they have to get vaccinated in order to return back to work. And once they get vaccinated, they will have some type of tattoo, some type of symbolism that they've been vaccinated. And so I heard that was for California, but I have one person that's on live now from New York say he's heard that as well. I have one person live from California say he hasn't heard it. All right, Periscope said, you see me out and about. Yes, I do be out and about. Can't say that that's not true, right? But I want to comment on this post that I made on YouTube. Hey, dazzling. Yeah, you finally caught me live from Chicago. I got Chicago, New York in the house, Mississippi, California, Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And you all, I promise you, once I get an opportunity. Okay, let's say, who needs credit when they have cash? Credit is really bad. Dave Ramsey. Well, you know what? How many people have purchased a house for cash under Dave Ramsey's advice on Periscope? Here's someone said, who's need credit when they have cash? Credit is bad. How many people have Dave Ramsey helped purchase a house with cash? And you all do understand Dave Ramsey is a multimillionaire, right? He's a multimillionaire. And yeah, credit is leverage. And Dave Ramsey doesn't even accept cash for you to purchase his products. Right, Dave Ramsey, multimillionaire, and you can't even purchase his products with cash. I guess you could if you have a debit card, but you still need some plastic. You can't, those envelopes, that you mail in, that he tells you to keep cash in your envelopes, you can't mail him those envelopes and cash and purchase any of his products. So, I think since he hate plastic so much, he should just take cash only payments some type of way, right? He should take cash only payments. So let's talk about the difference between credit and debt, because many people don't know. And it's true. You should get out of debt. So the reason why I'm having this live, and like I said, once I get opportunity, I will try to advance, but I go live on more than one platform at once. So it's really hard for me to, show the screen, but you got Zoom and Loom in. So I will take advantage of those opportunities and upgrade my live videos. But hey, when you're live, anything goes. But I posted on my YouTube that my 823 credit score dipped to 788 when I purchased my first investment property. And one of my followers on YouTube said I should be disappointed in that dip. And I asked him, why should I be disappointed? I used the bank's money at a low interest rate, low return. I'm looking at this little net, cheap money. And I'm getting a higher return on my investment because my belief is cash flow is king, right? Cash flow is king. And in order to acquire cash flow, you have to have assets and not liabilities. And so this person went on, yeah, but I still think you should be disappointed to hold on. Let me okay, I had to mute somebody. And that let me know that I definitely have not did a very good job of communicating my purpose with people that follow me on my channel. And that also let me know that people don't know the difference between credit and debt, right? Credit and debt. I got Dallas, Texas in the house on Periscope. So I quoted a quote from J.P. Morgan. If you know anything about Mr. J.P. Morgan, it's J.P. Morgan Chase. He was the founder of the banking system. J.P. Morgan Chase up to date is our biggest banking system, biggest lender in the United States when it comes to banking, right, of all the banks. And Mr. J.P. Morgan quoted years ago that gold and silver is money, right? Everything else is just debt. Okay, so let me repeat that. He quoted that gold and silver is money. Everything else, it's just credit. I think I said debt. Let me say it a third time to make sure I said it correctly. Gold and silver is money. Everything else is just credit. So I responded to him like, why would I want a high credit score just to buy liabilities? There are so many people I see posting, or so many people that do quote unquote credit restoration, and they're giving screenshots and they're posting the credit scores. And I'm like, it's good for social media, for the likes and the comments, and to look good on social media, right? And to post a high credit score. But why do you want over a 750 credit score just to be broke? Why do you want a high credit score to only get a house, which is taking money out of your pockets, or a vehicle that takes your cash flow money out of your pocket, but you won't flip the script and use that same leverage, because that's all credit is using the bank's money, and you can use it to invest in assets, producing income, or liabilities. Is your choice. You can use your credit score to get entangled into a 30-year mortgage. I'm sorry, that is just a 30-year mortgage. and pay 10 times on that 30-year mortgage if you don't learn the principles of how to pay down a mortgage in 5 to 7 years. Any 30 or 15-year mortgage, if you use credit the right way, because on a mortgage, 15 or 30 year, you have amortization interest, which means your interest is calculated along with your escrow and your principal every month into that loan. And your interest is first front loaded. So when you have the middle class who go out and purchases these $250,000 homes, $300,000 homes, and they don't understand how to take simple interest from a credit card and apply it toward their mortgage to attack amortization interest, they will have a $250,000 loan, for example, and if they pay it on time, schedule as agreed, and do nothing differently, will end up paying back $330,000. Sorry, I'm trying to get that net. And so, hello, Hurstful Lane for Texas. Thanks for coming in. Jesus says the only time you need your credit score to be in the top shape is when you're about to apply for some type of loan. Once you get approved, it doesn't really matter. And that's what people don't understand, I think, about credit. Credit is an asset, it's leverage, and debt and credit are two different things. I'm going to say this again. Debt and credit are two different things, people. So where do you want to be in the upcoming recession? Yeah, Jesus said again, front loaded, it takes 20 years of payment to be halfway through a mortgage loan. Let me say that what he said again, or post it again on my YouTube. It takes 20 years of payment to be halfway through a mortgage loan. I did videos on this before. Welcome. Charger, first time on my live. Thanks for tuning in. YouTube, I also need you all to hit the thumbs up. I only have 10 thumbs up. Facebook algorithm loves that. And Periscope, I need to share this with your followers. I'm trying to build the Periscope channel as well. And so I felt like it was, because this was my credit score, and sorry for the glare, that I posted on the YouTube channel. There was a 788. And it dropped because I used the bank's money, very low interest, to get an investment property. It's going to cash flow me in, after all expenses on a monthly basis, about $600 of cash flow. And what people don't understand as well is the 3 types of income. Because it was a person that I muted on Periscope. But what this person does not understand is, first of all, and let me make sure South Carolina is in the house. Hello, YouTube. Let me make sure my screen is not blurry, because okay, it looks good. The video make adjustments as I move things. So I wasn't planning on using my screen, but I will, or my board. So what this person on Periscope didn't understand is that you would, as long as you use printed paper currency, you would never be out of debt. First of all, you would never be out of debt. As long as you use this, you would never be out of debt. Because in 1971, the dollar became debt. It used to be backed by gold, and printed paper currency would have gold or silver certificates written on them. It will read, this certificate is a legal tender and the amount of proof of payment of all debt dues, public and private, and it would state here, gold certificate or silver. I have a silver certificate, meaning that the person could go into banks in their storage and it would read in gold coin, and they could retrieve the physical gold and silver. Now, if you don't know that gold and silver is real money, then purchase gold or silver online or physical location like a pawn shop or precious metal dealer. You will not get charged any taxes on the purchase of physical gold and silver. And the reason why you will not get charged any taxes is because it is Constitution definition real money, and they cannot tax gold and silver. Gold and silver is not taxed. It's physical. It holds intrinsic value and it cannot be taxed. So that's why they took money off the gold standard, because they wanted a way to tax you, Americans, people, for your labor. And they could not tax you or tax the citizens at that time by using physical gold and silver, which is real money. As JP Morgan said, everything else is just credit, right? So you just an employee and you're using your social security number, your 9 digits. As an employee, you're getting taxed 30 to 40% on every dollar that you make. And yes, the dollar is debt, because now it reads on every dollar that you have in your possession that this note, it doesn't say a certificate, is legal tender for all debt. What does it mean by note? A note is an IOU, right? It's an IOU to pay you at a later date with real money, with real gold and silver. So when people foolishly say, I'm debt free, I'm getting out of debt, then my thought is, okay, that means you should not be using paper printed currency, because that is debt. It's not real money. When you use dollars, it's debt. So it's a grave difference from using credit and using debt. And let me propose this to you. You can be free and owe no house note. You can owe no vehicle note. And you will still be in a very destitute stage if you don't have cash flow coming in, or if your income that you do have coming in is stagnant, meaning that the amount of money that you make on your job your pay raise does not outpace inflation, right? Because inflation on average is 2 to 3%, maybe higher this year, a year. So if you're only getting a 1%, 2% discount, and inflation is at 3, 4, 5% on average, then you will never get out of the habit of living paycheck to paycheck. So a person with no house note that brag about, I use debt, printed currency to purchase a house. If you don't use that house to bring you cash flow in, and that maintenance on that house and those bills and utilities is just bringing cash flow out, you're still going to be in a situation where you are going to be living paycheck to paycheck, because cash is not king, because the dollar purchasing power has lost 95% of the purchasing power ever since it was taken out the gold standard. This is how much purchasing power the dollar had, printed money had, in 1971, when President Nixon took it out the gold standard. So in 1971, the dollar was backed by two things. It wasn't gold anymore. At some point, it used to be known as the petrodollar, because you can only buy crude oil and US dollars from Saudi Arabia. So they gave it power, but now crude oil is falling below $20 a barrel. So what is giving the dollar power now? You all know? I want you all to answer. Take a moment to sip on this water. My alkaline made water with lemon. What gives the dollar power now? Why are we still using it if it's depreciating in value or it's losing its purchasing power? Meaning that it takes now $5 to buy a loaf of bread, whereas 10 years ago, it took $2 to buy a loaf of bread. So why is the dollar losing its purchasing power? If you can't use it to get physical silver or gold, and it is now a debt note, it's not a certificate to retrieve real gold and silver, which is money defined by the Constitution, then what gives the dollar its power now? Why are we using it? Why are other nations using it? Okay, Dan said because the average person doesn't understand the note theory. Okay. And because they maybe don't understand the note theory, every day, that the more money is printed, the less purchasing power it has, because the more of it that's in circulation, the more labor and products have to be used to produce products, which as a byproduct increases, I'm trying to get this name, sorry, increases the prices. It increases the prices because if 10 people have $1, right? It's only $10. So we can continue to purchase the same products for the same price. But now if you give 10 people $20, now instead of me going to the store with $1 and say, hey, I want one loaf of bread, I now go into the store and say, excuse me, I want 2 loaves of bread. I have more money. So now that increases the production and the labor, because now more loaves of bread have to be produced because I have more money to circulate to purchase more. And so that makes the dollar depreciate, right? That makes the dollar depreciate. So as long as you have paper currency, you're going to have debt, right? You are going to be possessing debt. Now, what debts do you need to get rid of, right? Right, fiat money has nothing to back it but debt. And faith, for some people have faith in the dollar. They still have faith that America, the economy will continue to be strong. They have faith in the US, but our economic system is falling by the day, right? But they still have faith in this little net in the US. So these are debts. This is the difference between debt and credit. Periscope, you can follow me on YouTube. Follow me, 𝒞𝓄𝓃 on YouTube. I'm going to sign off. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And that's why I can just focus on YouTube. So these are debts that you need to pay off. All right, the goal is to have 0 to 100% debt elimination, right? 0 to 100% debt elimination. So being debt free, you have freedom, you have rules that you have to abide by, guidelines, right? So taking the weight off of a house, a car, a student loan, that's debt. You'll live your entire life the burdens of lots and lots of debt. debt elimination is possible, it's achievable in fraction of the time, right? So let's say if you did your mortgage in 5 to 7 years by using credit, right? By using credit. And for the person on Periscope, I've signed out Periscope that informed me, well, I did purchase my house with cash. How much labor and time that you have to put into purchasing that cash? And that's what I'm trying to explain to people, that rich people pay for time, right? They buy time. Poor or middle class people put a price on their time, meaning that rich people will, and that's why I've been trying to get you all to, if you're looking for multiple streams of income with the credit score changes that's upcoming with the FICO 10, to look into getting a home-based credit repair business. Now, I do have some people legitimate ask me, what's the difference in enrolling for this credit repair business and starting my own business versus just allowing you, myself, and my personal business, right? Thank you, Curtis. And I tell people that you're going to have a lot of Americans within the next upcoming months that cannot afford my pricing. I'm just being honest. They might not have a lump sum. They might be out of a job. We had 6.6 million Americans, but they can afford $80 to get started with credit repair. And through this company, they do the work for you. You just have to find the clientele. So your customers, a client pay $80, you get 50% of the cut. And so what I mean by this is rich people pay for time. See, they will pay for businesses that leverage the work of other people versus what I'm doing, using their time to do the work themselves. So you have a difference of passive income and residual income, and then you have earned income, right? So you have just, it's more than these type of incomes. You also have portfolio income. I'm not going to get into portfolio income tonight, but I'm just going to focus on these three. So you got earned, passive, residual. You also have capital gains income. Okay. So earned income, my light keep going out. It's earned income that you get from, hold on one second. Okay, earned is tax 30 to 40%. So if you earn $1, every dollar you earn, you bring it home 60 cents or 70 cents, right? Earned income, Curtis said, tax at even with 18 and 38%. So this is income earned from your labor, your job. Then you have passive income. Passive income is leveraging the work of other people, right? And you receiving monetary gains earned passively, not off the work, your physical work, but off the work and efforts of others. So that money is earned passively. It's other ways to earn passive income as well, right? But then you have residual income, right? And so your residual income come in at monthly basis, residually on time, with work done one time, right? Or work done very little in the process. Like when my real estate investments, residual income, the only work that I will have to do is some maintenance maybe every now and then that comes up with the investment properties that I hold. So residual income can also be looked at as passive income as well, because it's passively. And residual and passive can be interchanging because you're not doing it by your labor and your work. And so this is where most people that use paper printed currency and brag about, I'm out of debt, I owe no man nothing, I don't have a house note, I pay for it cash. Well, you're always going to have those property taxes. I bet you that. Even if the house you're sitting on, it's great not to have a mortgage. I'm not downplaying it, but you're going to always owe somebody something. You don't have a car note, vehicle note, you're going to have to pay for maintenance. You're going to have to pay for tires. You're going to have to pay for upkeep and repair. You're just going to be paying on a lower level. So if you only operate and earn income and you're getting taxed, at some point, property taxes, maintenance on your vehicles, your bills will increase in your home. And guess what's going to increase within the next upcoming months? Guess what's going to increase in the month of June? What do you all think is going to increase in the month of June, next 2 months? Let me know. Come on, make a mind message connection. You all interact with me. Okay, Curtis said health insurance. Why do you think health insurance? That's interesting, Curtis. Anyone else? Whether you're watching this live on the replay, make a mind message connection. Lee is right, unemployment. I was having a conversation with my friend who thinks that electricity, interest rates, what else? Income tax. Okay, but let me tell you something else that I think will increase. It's going to hurt a lot of Americans' pockets. Your pricing on your groceries. Groceries. Because right now, this is farming season, April and May. Farmers, especially, I just read an article about California farmers saying over 420,000 farmers saying they having issues because of the lockdown, the quarantine. They can't communicate with other farmers. They can't get the produce did. And yeah, less farmers. And now we already had a crisis where there was less food. Bread wasn't available on the shelf. So if you are free of debts on a vehicle house note, you know how to use credit to pay a house in 5 to 7 years versus 15 to 30 years. That's great. But until you learn how to produce other forms of income and save yourself for being taxed from 30 to 40% as an employee using your social security number, and then making yourself a business owner by using EIN and tax ID number. You have to learn how to make yourself a corporation. Because what you all don't know is that the United States is a corporation. United States of America is a corporation. They have a EIN number and they make money off of you from your SSN, your labor. So you have to make yourself a corporation and you have to own nothing but control everything. Right? Property taxes, now do you be? I'm looking to join wealth business. For Key Williams, what questions do you have about that wealth building business? I've seen you several times on the website, and hopefully I can answer it over the phone. I have worked in the bread factory, and they're just not making bread because of profit, but always in demand, staple food. Okay, I'll read that email when I get out my live for Key. For Key, I can't. Williams. Tamika Johnson. Hey, Coach Deloach. Who is Tamika? Tamika, who are you? What's up? Coach Load, you got to be one of my students. I came through Rizar's channel recommending your live. Thank you. Who is Brazar? Braziers? Okay, yeah. I'll mess up your name, but I get you straight with business. And so you have people, you have to make yourself a corporation. You have to stop earning money under your social security number and start earning money under a corporation social security number, EIN tax ID number. If you're self-employed, if you're a sole proprietor, if you are a specialist, lawyer, doctor, any of these, you're getting taxed at 60%. You do solo work, you work alone, I'm sole proprietor. You're just an employee in your own business and you're getting taxed higher. You're getting taxed higher. Okay, 𝒤𝓃𝓋𝑒, I fixed your credit. Will you let everybody know what I fixed for you on your credit? So glad to hear that. Glad you're on. Now the economy is slowing. Auto jobs will slow. People keep cars longer. Yes. Dissemination channel. Okay, I'll check out that channel when I get off my live. Thank you all so much. Make sure you all share this as well. Are the banks still lending? Tiffany Adams, yes, the banks are still lending. In July, it's going to be a credit freeze, credit squeeze, I believe. It meaning that it's going to be even more challenging to get loans from banks, to invest, to build up your cash flow. And so that's why when people brag that I'm glad, my goal is to not have a mortgage, right? Because the French word for mortgage is death. That's my goal. But cash flow is king, people. Even if you're debt free, if you don't have the cash flow coming in to keep up with property taxes, keep up with the rising prices of groceries, rising prices every day, then you are going to be living paycheck to paycheck. So you can be debt free and not be financially free. I'm trying to get you financially free, because most people that says I'm debt free, I use my cash for everything, they're not considering that cash that they work hard to earn under their labor, or even capital gains investment in some cases, that you're being taxed 30 to 40%, or maybe 15 to 20%. Because even if you trade, let's say trade stocks, you trade stocks in the stock market and you use that money to invest, if you use it to invest in real estate or assets, you won't be taxed, but you're going to be taxed on that money as income. So that eats up your profit, right? So I'm trying to help people earn passive and residual. So then on this side of the cash flow quadrant, you have B, but that's for big business owners, and they're taxed like 25% of their income, or 20% of their income or less. A lot of the big business now, United Airlines, Carnival Cruise, they're going belly up, but they paid less taxes, right? And they had high capital gains, but they didn't take their money and reinvest it into the company, right? So you have these big businesses that get even lower tax cuts than this, and then you have the investors. This is where credit comes in. This is where credit is different than debt. Now we're about to go to school. Investing income is at 0%, right? 𝒤𝓃𝓋𝑒 Johnson, you did a great job on my credit. Now my husband and I have a $50,000 credit line to start my trucking company. You all tell 𝒤𝓃𝓋𝑒 Johnson, congratulations. Thank you, 𝒤𝓃𝓋𝑒. Great job. Thank you. I'm so happy for you all. And I don't mean to forget names. You just wouldn't believe the number of people credit that I've repaired over the years. So everyone, tell 𝒤𝓃𝓋𝑒, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear that. You all tell 𝒤𝓃𝓋𝑒, congratulations when you watch this live on the replay. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love this community. And I love hearing those testimonies. So this is where credit differs or is different than debt. And you need to learn the difference between the two, because they're not the same. Okay, you can put me some in here. T. Thank you all so much for congratulating 𝒤𝓃𝓋𝑒. I love this community. So let me put this here for my daughter. Yeah, thank you. So this is where credit is different than debt. Debt is the dollar. It's your labor. It's tax. I'm gonna go with what Curtis said. I'm gonna go with what Curtis said. 18 to 38%. I said 40, so I'm gonna put 40. Every time you make $1, you are taxed. Every time you spend $1, thank you, you are taxed. Every time you use debt, you are taxed. Highest bracket you could be taxed on. Yeah, you bought that house, that car. I don't have any car notes, right? But I had to find a way to keep more of the money I make. If I want financial freedom, I had to find a way to keep more of the money I make. I had to get out of this tax bracket because I was working harder, but not working smarter, right? Working harder, but not working smarter. Now, I do my credit repair business solo because I choose to. I'm not ready to share my intellectual property. I built it from the ground up. I took a combination of a lot of studying over a lot of years and made it my own. I wouldn't sell my intellectual knowledge with that until I got a trademark, and I don't have a trademark yet. That's one of the lessons that multimillionaire Robert Kiyosaki teaches, is to protect your intellectual property. And that's what a lot of people don't do. You see a lot of people that complains about their idea was stolen, their patent was stolen, their $1 million concept was stolen because they didn't take care of their intellectual property and get things trademarked. And earlier in this, I said the rich controls everything and they own nothing. The rich understand how to never do business in their name as a person, not just for the tax advantages, but because of the protection, right? The rich understand you always do business as a corporation. I always do business as a corporation or under a corporation, under a company entity. So your home-based business, you're doing business under a company entity. Number one, it protects you, liability, protects your assets from people suing, and it also gives you 475 tax deductions versus only 15 that you'll have as an employee. And so as the dollar, which is debt, loses its purchasing power every year, which causes prices to increase. And if you're not getting cash flow coming in, you can be in debt, you can be debt free, But being debt free means you're out of dollars, because dollars is debt. And what I mean by that is when you're out of dollars, you don't have cash flow. That's what being debt free means. So when people like, hey, I'm doing a debt free screen, I'm out of debt, let's ring the bell, woo doo doo. That means you're going to be out of dollars. And when you're out of dollars, you're out of cash flow. That means your income on your job, you're being highly taxed. So you're living paycheck to paycheck because the purchasing power of the dollar is depreciating and you don't have a way to bring more of it in. So out of debt means out of dollars. Can you all put that in the comments? I'm going to even type that in because that was good. Hello, Paul. Hello. Asset protection and asset accumulation. Thank you. So out of debt equals out of dollars, because the dollar is debt. And it means you have no cash flow. Out of debt, you're out of dollars because the dollar is debt and you're out of cash flow. Or you have limited cash flow because you're getting taxed anywhere from 18 to 40%. You're out of debt, you're out of dollar. So Paul says we got to find a better way because we definitely hit for a recession. That's true, Paul. And we're going to talk about, we're not going to just talk about the problem. We're going to talk about some solutions. We're going to talk about some solutions. So let's get into some solutions. Let's get into some solutions. So what's credit? Credit is asset can use to get cash flow. Credit is an asset that you can use to create cash flow. Everybody hit the like button. Thank you, Tamika. Thank you so much. Because I only have 27 thumbs up. I say the best end goal is to go will never play out. Yes, solutions. Okay, we'll get into solutions. Credit is an asset that you can use, and I also call this leverage, to create cash flow. So credit you all, this is going to be good. This is going to be good what I'm about to write right here. So stay on. You all see my coaching handwriting? I know this a little sloppy. So I'm going to say it for you. Credit can be obtained without labor. And I'm a basketball coach, so I'm not used to writing a whole lot. You have to maximize your cash flow. You have to maximize your cash flow. And credit can be obtained without labor. That's one of the best parts about credit. People don't understand. In order to get cash, you have to put some labor in. I don't care if it's what you think is skilled labor and it doesn't take a whole lot of heavy lifting or it's not hard work. Listen, mental labor, whatever it is, credit you can get from signing your name on the dotted line, and it takes no mental labor, no skilled labor, no physical labor. Just take a good credit profile. The best next thing about credit, I can end my live right there. It is not taxed. Credit is not taxed. When you use your credit card for business use, when you take out a business loan, you're not getting taxed. And I know a lot of people may be like, well, what about the interest rates? Well, that's where you got to know. If I get the bank's money and use it, I have 0% interest card at 0%, or I get it at 3 or 5%. What's going to be my return on my investment? Will I get 12% back in return, 15%? But with credit, you can get an infinite return, right? Tiffany Anderson, you're very smart. Thanks for taking your time. You're welcome. I had to rush and get some credit done today for a client that paid, I think, yesterday, because I'm actually not coaching and working now. You know, all the schools are closed down. So I'm typically getting a 24, 48 hours return on immediately getting those affidavits sent out for my clients. If, you know, once they get their information notarized and all that in the mail to, you know, help them dispute. So yeah, credit can be used as poor man's, thank you, James, wealth. It is not taxed. And an infinite return is no money in the deal. You're just using the bank's money. Or, you know, so that's the goal of using credit. And that's why I always say credit to cash flow. Because I always tell people cash is not king. It's losing its the purchasing power. By the day, by the minute, more Fed put trillions of dollars into the stimulus, it loses purchase power. But cash flow is king. You got to have cash flow, people. So my solution right now is, even though the banks will have a credit squeeze, credit unions are great for giving credit in these times of recessions. Get you a good account. I have Navy Federal, Penn Fed. They are wonderful. There are some local credit unions in your cities and states that gives those great rates of return as well. Get with those local credit unions. During these times, my game plan is to acquire more silver, right? Silver and gold is not accessible. That's right, Brandon. Cash flow is king. It's not accessible online right now, but it may be accessible within the next 30 days. So my plan right now is to wait before I get another rental property. I'm going to wait until we hit hyperinflation. So I'm not going to be getting more rental properties at this time. And till we get hyperinflation, I think property will be even cheaper. So I'm putting a host, because unfortunately a lot of Americans are losing their jobs, which means their homes and property probably will be in foreclosure and bankruptcy within the next couple of months. This is my ginger and lemon. My daughter got me some ginger too. Oh, that's so good. And so physical silver, there are some pawn shops here that still have physical silver. Going to accumulate more physical silver. It may be available online soon. And, you know, I think anything rare, because this is why physical silver and or gold, right? You can afford gold, which is about $1,800 an ounce right now. That's because constitutional silver and gold is real money. So whenever the economy has to reset itself, a recession is just a reset. So whenever it has to reset itself, it always have to use gold and silver, because it is real money in the accounting system. And so when it uses gold and silver in the accounting system, as the dollar is going to possibly crash and collapse, and the economy has to reset itself, then the prices of gold and silver is going to skyrocket. And silver right now is still under $25. I'm not mistaken, by the ounce, right? Still $25 an ounce, under $25 an ounce. And silver will be used for more than just the accounting system reset of the currency, right? But it's also used for an industrial metal, means your computers, your electronics, your solar panels, calculators, catalytic converters on vehicles, et cetera, et cetera. James Nixon says, I'm going to have to get on a payment plan and hire you as a mentor, credit coach, so I can book you for a seminar with the killing arena when this blows over. You're awesome. Thank you so much, James. James, I don't even know who the killing arena is. You all have to let me know. And then my other follower that came on said he was recommended someone's channel. I have to go check that channel out. What did he say? Let me go back and find it. He's not on anymore, I don't think. A channel to follow me. Okay, but I find out when I log off. So thank you so much, James. I will killing arena in the killing arena when this blows over. Where's the killing arena located, James Dixon? So that's why I'm encouraging you all to sign up or to enroll and enlist, because you can get the home-based credit repair business. Okay, Fort Hood, Killing, Texas. All right, I would definitely love to do that. I love Texas, and I definitely want you all to look at credit differently. I want you to use credit. I want you to use credit to get assets that will give you cash flowing. Physical silver and gold will be capital gains, income, right? And so that's why I always recommend my silver stacking report. Okay, not far from, think pronounced 𝒞𝓀𝓚e. Okay, 𝒞𝓀𝓚e, Texas. I got you. Not far from Dallas, Texas. And so that's why my silver stacking report, I give you the silver rounds bullions that are not our, 1099B reported, meaning that they don't have to report your capital gains when you sell it, the profit, I say profit, that you've made off of certain silver coins, bullions when you resell. So you definitely want to know what list that is, because you want to buy the bullions that once you make your profit on and you get your capital gains, that you're not heavily taxed, right? Because we said the name of the game is to keep more of the money you make. And the only way you're going to keep more of the money you make is that you're not giving it to the three letters IR to the S legally, right? Legally. And that's one of the benefits of having a home-based business, right? My Mr. Mentor says he is working on his credit to buy single family homes. Single family homes are great investment. And I think when I began to talk about the solutions, I didn't go into detail. That's one of my goals now, to hold off until we get into hyperinflation to invest in real estate. And when I do invest in real estate, it's going to be in the elderly care field. And I'm going to purchase single family homes to do that, because the government will pay you, check this out, pay you from $900 to $1,500 a bedroom. A bedroom. So if you got a 3-bedroom single family home and you have, elderly care, providing, wow, look at that cash flow per bedroom, right? So I'm researching that. That's why I'm waiting on real estate, hyperinflation. You all need to definitely get that silver stacking report. You can go on my website at www.fixmycreditandcash.com. Stroll all the way down to the bottom, and You'll see the instructions on how to get the silver stacking report. If you want assistance with building your credit, go to Credit Help book online. Curtis is saying that $20K a year, no taxes, at $130K per year over tax without a business. Right. Right. Yeah. And so that's why I'm telling you all, a lot of you all need to invest. It's going to be 40 million Americans in July, 40 million Americans that when FICO 10 comes into play in suit, their credit scores will drop by no fault on their own. It's just the algorithm is changing. 40 millions. I cannot service 1 million people, right? Because unfortunately, I'm still at the stage that with my business, I'm doing it solo. And I'm still getting tax deductions, but I'm not making it public. I'm not teaching it until I do what I have to do to protect my intellectual property and get my, templates and everything trademarked. I could put a just do it yourself product on the market, but it probably would be like a lot of do it yourself that at some point you will hit a plateau with the difficult credit challenges like the collections and charge-offs, inquiry removal. So I just work and consult with clients and we do it together. It's not a done for you, it's a done with you services, right? And I'm really taking time now I want to critique that. My goal is I want to get bankruptcies off in 90 days. I want to get more testimonials of someone that has 10 or 15 collections and charge off, that all of those got off within the first attempt in 30 days. That's my goal. And it's not easy. Maybe it won't happen, but I'm striving for that because I have to tell people when you get to a point where you have so many derogatories, the credit agencies are not going to just your first time, your first round, your first mailing that goes out. They're not going to just easily drop those accounts because they make billions of dollars off of bad credit, right? They make more money from charging you 15, 20% interest rates on vehicles or even 10% or giving you credit cards at 15% or giving you loans at 10, 15% than they do to have a person like me who gets 0% interest or 1.9% interest on vehicles. And one of the reasons why FICO 10 is in effect is because Americans from the 2008 recession, a lot of the charge-offs and bankruptcies from 2008 fell off in 2018 and 2019. So entering into the first part of 2020, a lot of people that got bad credit from the 2008 recession, their derogatories are just naturally falling off. And the banks are like, hey, we can't be approving these people for these loans because we know that these houses are about to bankrupt and foreclosures and people are going to try to get assets and we're going to have to put a credit freeze on this, right? Yeah, you got to be vigilant with credit. You have to be, Curtis. That's good. Now you'll be. I can't wait till you get your testimony as well. So those are my goals, right? But I'm not going to tell you it's easy because once you've gone years and once you got those very advanced challenges, bankruptcies and things like that, they're supposed to keep you in bondage for 10 years of bad credit. They don't want to let those go fast. And it takes a fight. It takes a fight, sometimes. So I'm just sharpening the saw, making my services better. But and that's why I tell people, you said 700 FICO 8 scores, 5 to 7%, 750, 0% rate. Exactly, Curtis. So that's why I'm trying to get people at the 750 and higher credit club. Right? You do not get taxed on credit and you can get 0%. You won't even get interest on it for up to 12 months. And When you use credit, that loan or your credit card back into your business, you get more tax deduction. See, that's the difference between credit and debt. People don't tell you. They don't break it down like that. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people have told me, they find out what I do, where people just want their credit fixed so they can go buy more stuff. I think everybody wants to live a peaceful life and not live frugal. They want to move their kids into a better zip code so their kids can get better schooling options. But that's not the case anymore. People need better credit for insurance premium on their vehicles, for employment, right? So credit dictates all of that. Where you live, your zip code, your peace of mind, your cash flow. It's not all about people trying to be a home. And I'm not even against people getting credit to be a home buyer, because once you learn how to turn simple interest against amortization interest, which means very quickly, it's called velocity banking. And I explained earlier that amortization interest on mortgages, right, means that your mortgage payments are divided into 3 columns every month: the principal, the interest, and the escrow. Principal, interest, and escrow. So when you can get a credit card, let's say you had 0% interest credit card for up to 12 months, and you took that credit card and you attacked the principal part of your loan, that chess move knocks down your interest payments. Right. But it takes the cash flow strategy and the credit together to use that strategy. And that's how you pay down home mortgages in 5 to 7 years. You constantly attack that principal with the credit card interest like it's cancer. You tell people, hey, you tell the banks, or you take your credit card and you convert it into liquidity, which is cash. I like the balance transfer checks that I can write to myself. And I write the balance transfer checks, 0% interest for a year to myself. Let's say it's $5,000. Take that $5,000, boom, put it on the principal of my house mortgage. And then I pay $500 a month on a credit card and knock that balance out within 12 months. Call the credit card company, ask them, can I get another balance transfer off? Take another $5,000 or maybe $10,000 if I have the cash flow to pay it off within a year. So let's say it's $10,000 and I can pay now $1,000 a month, right? Or $850 for a year before that interest add up. And boom, put that, and you tell your mortgage or your bank that I want to apply this to the principal of my house. You do that 4 or 5 times, you paid off a home in 5 to 7 years, because interest calculated on credit cards is different than interest calculated on a home. And again, the best thing about credit is you don't have to use your labor. It can be done with the signature of a pen. You don't have to use your labor for credit, and it's not taxed. It's not taxed. You just got to be disciplined with it. Let me read my comments. Velocity banking is amazing. You save so much in interest. So thank it really is. I was unable to remove a bankruptcy on my first round. Yes, tax deduction, save you money. Oh, for Key Williams said I was able to move. How old was your bankruptcy? Was it a fairly new bankruptcy or old? FICO. I'm just FICO Williams. I'm probably not pronouncing your name. How old was your bankruptcy? Tamika Johnson, how much did she charge you to fix your credit? DeLeon, I don't think that's a fair answer, because everybody credit is different. I can't remember what she had on there, but she might have had 1 or 2 charge-offs and collections. So I charge customized prices based on the condition of your credit. You have 10 collections and charge off, your fee is going to be different. Or if you have a bankruptcy or repossession, than someone else that may have 2 collections and 1 charge off. Yeah, that's the right answer, Tamika. It varies. That's why people have to get a credit audit. The power of velocity banking, knocking down half a balance of debt to reduce, the interest is right. Mr. Mentor, some mortgages want to accept credit card payments. I need that loophole strategy. Well, you're right. Some mortgages won't accept credit card payments. So what you have to do is get a credit card that offers 0% balance transfer, and ask them, do they offer balance transfer checks? And what you do is you take those balance transfer checks with the 0% offer. You pay it in order to yourself, deposit in an account for the balance transfer. I think they charge maybe 3.5% of the transfer amount. No, it's lower than that. I can't remember. So if it's $10,000, I can't remember, they may charge $300 or less for that amount, so you can transfer about 90. It depends on the bank. And you deposit in your checking account. And then when you have the cash in there, which is also called liquidity, you take that cash, you call your bank and say, hey, I have $9,000, $9,500 cash, and I want to make a payment, principal only payment, only towards the principal. So what that means is at the same time that you are paying that credit card debt, you still have to make the payments on that mortgage, but you will see a lower mortgage payment because you attack that principal, which will automatically cause your interest rate to go down. Another thing that I do to cut my mortgage monthly payment is I pay my insurance premium on my home for the year. I pay it for the year all up front. A lot of people talk about being debt free. They never talk about being bill free, right? They never discuss being bill free. And being bill free means that you can pay your automobile vehicles premium for the year annually. You can pay your home insurance for the year annually. That knocks down your escrow. And I don't think they'll allow you to pay your property taxes for the year, not here in my state. And so, we got to discuss being bill free too, not just bragging about being tax free. And any other bill that I can pay for the year, I will. I just pay it for the year because it saves me money, even on my vehicle premiums and insurance premium in the long run. So, Mr. Mentor, that's how you do that. Mr. Mentor, you could give me a super chat. I just dropped some knowledge on you for real. When you pay off credit cards often, they send checks, they do. Okay, 𝒞𝓋𝑒, that was a great job. If you had a 3-year bankruptcy and you got off the first round, great job. Thank you, 𝒲𝑽𝑒. You're dropping great jewels, babe. Love it. Thank you. Thank you, Rod V. That's some great information. Thank you. Tamika said it varies. It does. I'm paying a lump sum towards my mortgage, dropping big time. Yeah. And I always pay it towards the principal, Mr. Mentor. Facts want to know if I can afford it, to be honest. Okay, DeLeon, that's fine. Charge-offs are bad. They are. And we can get on charge-offs in a minute. It's been a year this month. Capital One, where you pay it off frequent send checks with 0% interest rate. I know Capital One, Bank of America, and Chase off all the time 0% interest rate with balance transfer checks. So those are some good credit cards. I'm giving you all some jewels. You all could drop some super chats for this information. Thank you. George's Land said, I give you a super chat, Curtis, that treat personal credit like a business. Oh, and another thing about personal credit that it positions you for is to build your business credit. And if you get the right business credit cards, you can get the business credit cards that don't even show on your personal credit account, meaning it won't even damage your personal credit score at all. because it's not reporting. I mean, isn't that awesome? And you all only have 39 thumbs up. So if you're just not coming in, hit that thumbs up. It will put you in position to be a personal guarantee and to build your business credit, right? Pink Lady, I am after a 40K. Thank you, Ferky, for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. I'm after a 40K personal line of credit from my credit union. Is it also good for velocity banking? Pink Lady, my advice right now, and I don't give financial advice, but if it was me, I would make sure that I have a secure job going into the upcoming months. And I'm just going to be honest, I will make sure I pay my bills, credit card statements, all at the minimum right now to make sure I have a secure job. And if you have, this is what I would do. I'm not giving you financial advice. And if you have anything, build up any extra money, I will hoard that. I read an article today, Wall Street Journal, that people is hoarding cash. And that's because they don't know what price changes, what will be the upcoming economic, what groceries would be like in June, what their job situations would be. And so I would definitely keep my credit card at this point for emergencies only until you kind of get out of this in 2020 to see where we're going to be headed. I would definitely keep credit cards for emergency purposes only. Right. Thank you, Curtis Davis. You always give super chats for the $2 super chat. Thank you, Tamika, for that promotion. I don't get a lot of people to, discuss what I've done for them credit wise, and two reasons, because that's a sensitive topic. A lot of people don't want to talk about I got 10, 15 collections deleted. They don't want to come live and say that. And so I don't do a lot of testimony because that sometimes the information is a little sensitive. But I do encourage people afterwards that once you get on the right track and retract it, to keep and maintain good credit, because it's always better to have credit and not need it than to need it and not have it, right? It's always to have credit and not need it than to need it and not have it. So, Pink Ladies, that's what I personally do, but you make financial decisions for yourself, because we are approaching some uncharted territory right now with this economy. I think something that people had never seen before, right? In our generation. And what do you think about using a balance transfer to put $5,000 on a box truck? What would a box truck do? Sharp. Yes, 2020 is a mess. We are in we are in certain times. So my game plan is to hold on till we approach hyperinflation, get some more rental estate property, invest in single family homes for intensive care, right? Elderly care program. I'm doing more research about that. And I'm also looking to acquire some farmland, believe it or not. You never know, marijuana might be legalized after the Great Depression. They legalized alcohol. So, get some farmlands in case that, marijuana is. And also, not only for that, if it's legalized, but to also grow my own produce, right? Because the supermarkets is showing you all that they can be scarcity at any time. So farmland and silver stacking, whenever I can find some, once it's available, hopefully next month. Because what you all may not know, I talked about JP Morgan at the beginning of this live. They're one of the biggest banks, biggest lenders in America, but they are under scrutiny right now with the DOJ, Department of Justice, because they hoarded over $350 million of physical silver, $350 million. And now the department, and which has really suppressed the price of silver and kept it at a low. And so that ruling is scheduled to take place, right, this year in 2020. And if that ruling against JP Morgan is passed on, silver can be looking at maybe possibly at $150 an ounce. So you can still get it for about $25 an ounce. But, I think people got the word and it became a silver and gold rush, and companies just, all of the SD bullions, JM bullions, they don't have it. So if they have it next month, that's definitely an investment. You and I and everyone, you never go wrong with silver and gold, because it is constitutional money and it's always used during recession and economic resets as the accounting system, because they always have to go back to real money, right? Real money. 𝒞𝓃𝓿 Johnson. Okay, 𝒞𝓃𝓿 Johnson, she's not afraid. She said, I removed 4 collections and some late payments. Okay. Can we say once unemployment rate stabilized 5 to 6 months? I would hope so, Curtis. I would hope so. But they're saying that they think that even going in by the end of this rate will exceed over 6.6 million, which was the number from last week. So 6.6 million. It will bring in cash flow through contracts. Okay, I don't know what a box truck does. Just if it's going to bring you in cash flow, you've done your due diligence, right? You've done your due diligence and research. Then, hey, keep following my channel. Next time I, get on live, let me know. Because the king right now is cash flow and credit is queen. Credit is queen in these financial games in these uncertain times. Cash flow is king, not cash, because the dollar is depreciating. The more the government puts out in stimulus and send out and bailouts, it loses purchasing power. But cash flow is king right now, and credit is queen, because the queen is the most versatile, powerful piece in the game of chess and financial game as well, meaning that she can make many moves, vertical, horizontal. She can promote a pawn to a king, right? And she has many moves that she can make where the king is limited in these moves. And so with credit, you can do so many things to create cash flow with it, right? And it's tax-free, right? And you can get a greater return on your investment without having any of your cash tied into the investment, right? Just be careful of what type of credit you use. Wouldn't suggest anything that will require a collateral. During the Great Depression, 1930s, people took out loans and they used credit to invest in the stock market. And when the stock market crashed, they lost a lot of their homes and collateral that were collected with it. So I'm assuming in 1930s, they didn't have credit cards around, right? Because that's a different type of debt. Make sure your loan is non-collateral loan. Make sure your credit card is 0% or unsecured, so that you don't have any of your personal things tied into collateral that you can possibly lose. Surprise Sunday groceries. Wow, grocery shelves are bare. Okay, Chef said, thank you. You're more than welcome. Curtis said 12 million jobs, a lot of lost economic activity. Let me tell you all something. The Chinese, the same word that they use for crisis, they use for opportunity. Let me say that again. The same word that the Chinese use for crisis is also used for opportunity as well. I'm just going to check on the price of Bitcoin real quick while we live. Ooh, wow, you all, Bitcoin. It hit a high today of 7,400. 7,400. It's at 7,344 today. Bitcoin is doing well. A lot of people also invested in it. It's very volatile. It goes, 24/7, but I believe so does money move 24/7. Money never sleeps. And unlike the stock market, it's only open 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. But money never stops on the weekend. And in the world, it goes 24/7. So yeah, that's one of the things I like about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. 12 million jobs, a lot of lost economic. Wow. Government put out 1 trillion in about more second trillion. So that's going to make the dollar purchasing power even less. Don't think it's a good time to get a loan. Depends on what type of loan. Georgia land that I said. A car loan. Okay, do I think it's a good time to get a car loan? Great question. Great question. If that car is going to bring you some type of income. Do you need a way? Thank you, John. I love those emojis. Love that, love that. Do you need a vehicle to make money or to transport you somewhere to make money? Because let me tell you all this. Some people are going out buying new cars right now. I went out and bought a new condo. That was good. I like alliteration. I'm going to put that. Car X. I went out and bought a condo for a real estate investment. And my vehicles are a 2010 BMW 535i. Cars, no. Condo, yes. And I drive a Chevy Tahoe, 169,000 miles. Black on black, unlimited edition, leather seats. The back seats never get set on because I'm usually the only one in it. To haul my things for my investment properties. I have no car, no payment, right? Debt free with my vehicles. Next goes get debt free with my home mortgage. And that Tahoe, that black on black Tahoe limited edition, a lot of men asked me to buy it for because it just took me to San Antonio, Texas from Mississippi last year. Didn't skip a beat. San Antonio. We went to Houston first, then San Antonio. It cranks up on the dime. And if it gives me one little sign of any mechanical issues, I don't rush to call my top-notch mechanic. That's on any of my vehicles. I don't let them go without being maintenance. I mean, if I think I smell an oil leak, oil drop, water leak, this sensor is on for this BMW, I'm in it, right? And so I'm fortunate enough to not work to like 15 minutes from the school, right, that I work at and coach basketball as well. So I don't travel a lot of miles unless I go out and in other states. Either one of my vehicles can take me to any state that I want to drive, I believe. And if I don't feel like driving them, I just lease something. So I got a 20-year-old vehicle, right, in my truck. But man, this Chevy tough, let me tell you. She drives just like a Cadillac. I like, and the men love it. They want to buy it from me all the time. I'm like, no. I mean, it's nice. Leather seats, seat warmers. I don't think I have to put in there if I'm going somewhere I don't know is my GPS, and we good. Yeah, so I'm fine. My daughter vehicle is paid off. I'm just not about giving my cash flow into vehicles until I just get to that point where I'm like, okay, I just want to splurge a little bit. But that's just my personal opinion. I'm just telling people right now, you need to get assets over liabilities, just point blank. Assets over liabilities. Assets over liabilities, right? Yeah, Mr. Williams said buying assets over life. Get a truck because you can always make money with a truck, rather pulling or moving things around. Buy assets, depreciate it. Yep. If you need a car, I would suggest buy slightly used. I have purchased all of my vehicles that I'm telling you about online at cargurus.com. Out of state, didn't look at them, did my due diligence. I always, if you are always, what you always need on your team is a great mechanic, and a great person, to a handyman to upkeep your home. You got those two things on your team, you can always be winning with cash flow. Know you. I don't know who that is. We got some type of mental person. Just put know you. Yeah, for some reason. Let me block this person. Hey, whoever you are, you are blocked. I don't even want to put you in timeout. I want to block you off of my channel. And so I will definitely do that. And let me tell you, I get some mental people. It's some mental people in credit. I'm serious. You get some people because, they sometimes they wait till the last minute and they wait till their credit just get to a plateau and a plummeting, hit rock bottom. And they want the miracles to be worked in. And then oftentimes some people with bad credit really do have bad mental issues. I'm just serious, but that's life. People with good credit can have mental issues, but usually if they have the mentality to keep good credit, they don't have the mental issues with people with bad credit. And whoever that person was definitely has some mental problems to just keep coming and things like that. Do this childish giving game and they playing right. Is this a good time to buy a home first? If you have a job, I'm going to wait to hyperinflation to invest in real estate. I wouldn't do it right this month because the interest rates are low. I think they're going to stay low for the remaining of the year. But if you wait, maybe around the holidays, Thanksgiving, a little bit more months, right? You can definitely in hyperinflation find a home, right, for great prices. So keep your credit up, keep your jobs. Just know the FHA approval for mortgages and home loans has moved up where you could qualify at a 580 credit score, but now the numbers are 640, right, to 680. And so hyperinflation is when the prices of anything have risen maybe like 50% over a period of time. But in the housing market, I think that's going to drop. In the housing market, I think that's going to drop because you're going to have a lot of bankruptcy and foreclosure, unfortunately, because we have so many Americans right now that are jobless. And people, on another note, when they are offering you the incentive not to pay your mortgage for 90 days, right, just know that July 1st is going to be time to pay the piper, meaning that you're going to have to pay all 3 back payments of that mortgage and July payments. So don't think this is a spring break for you to get out of paying your bills. If you can afford to pay your mortgage, no matter if this health epidemic is saying you don't have to pay your mortgage, because when July hit, not only is FICO 10 going to hit, but a lot of people who haven't paid their mortgage for 3 months, it's going to be time to pay the piper. And they're going to have to come up with 4 months payments. And so even with their, if they're laid off and they're getting unemployment, then that's a lot to come up. Yeah, you got, at one time. So the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac themselves did not change the requirement. The banks did. The banks changed it from a 580 to a 640 to a 680. Hi, Queen. This is Annie Taylor. You are correct. I can't buy silver for now. I will keep checking. Okay. So, Annie, we are hoping that the gates of heaven open for silver in about 30 days. So, in May, hopefully. Carl Jr. said back in, the credit scores requirements will drop soon for mortgages. They just increased. They just increased. I don't see them dropping, especially with FICO 10 coming, which 40 million Americans' credit scores will drop in July. I don't think they're going to lower that because, the banks are going to have a lot of assets on their hand in housing. See, what people don't know is even if you get an FHA loan, your PMI, private mortgage insurance, is insurance that you pay, but it's for the banks that they will never take a loss. So I tell people, a lot of people think that, okay, if I qualify for FHA loan, I'm only paying 3.5% down. You're paying more than that because you're paying about 20% of that loan, including the down payment, because you have to pay the PMI and the private mortgage insurance. So what happens is you default on a loan, the banks have insurance on it. It's no loss to them. So they're going to have a lot of assets on their hands if housing and real estate goes into foreclosure and bankruptcy. And this is why the wealth transfer is occurring, because the 1% or the 2% or the 3% that have their credit on point, they're going to be able to purchase these assets and these homes. And that's why I'm trying to get you all. And then when you get to a point, people, where you have about 3 or 4 real estate properties, rental properties, when your cash flow is on point, they won't even look at your credit score anymore. And that's when you can take the advice of a Dave Ramsey that, don't use credit. Credit doesn't matter. Well, once you get your cash flowing statements and you're showing profitable, and you have 3 or 4 rental properties, and you have enough cash flow, they won't even look at your credit. You just have to have your financial statements in place. But it's steps to this. And even Dave Ramsey talks about baby steps. It's steps to this. It's levels to this until you get to that point. Do like 𝒞𝓄𝓾e, he talked about that his first home that he purchased was with a credit card. He got a lakefront property on the beach, and he used his credit card. But now he doesn't even have to use credit. He showed him his cash flow statements. And he get approved for more real estate, for more assets. He has real assets, real estate, physical silver, and gold, right? There will be a lot of short sales happening by the end of the year. Correct. Most of my money goes towards my mortgage at this time. $77,000 left to pay, 13 years in. Great job, Mr. Mentor. But Mr. Mentor, just unless you have a secure job, you might kind of want to stack that cash, because even though it's losing its purchasing power, it still gives you leverage and security in case of uncertain times, right? So I wouldn't want you to have $77,000 left, and then if you can't pay the mortgage for 3-4 months, it's totally taken away from you. So, stack your cash. Credit unions are better security to hold it in at this time than banks. So if you get a part of a great credit union, like I said, they are great during these times of economic resets, and they're great with lending. And you can use your cash as leverage to use credit if you have to in uncertain times. So you always have that security blanket, because we are entering uncertain territory in times. Wise discerner says, are the mortgage payments being deferred and pushed to the back end of the loan, which lengthens the loan and you pay more interest? For my understanding, is not being pushed to the back end. Is deferment for 3 months. And in July, you're responsible for April, May, June, and July payments at once. So it's in deferment now. And another thing about that is that your credit score will be affected as well. I mean, this is the game they're playing. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pre-warn you all so you can be prepared for the game. Your credit score will be affected as well, meaning that they will report on your credit score that is a result of a natural disaster, right? Of why you're slow paying or late payment. But even that will be negatively. It will negatively affect your credit score. So if you can pay. Curtis, once you prove to the bank, you know how to manage real estate, they will give you more property. That's true. Police credit union. Haven't heard of police credit union. Where should your credit score purchase to home with the new FICO? That's a great question. MyFICO.com. Good evening. Good evening. I got some people that just not coming in. MyFICO.com. They have different plans from $19 to $29 to $39, but that will let you know your true credit score. I had someone the other day, I told them where to get their credit score. They was wondering, and I told them myfico.com. They said, oh, I don't want to spend $19 or $20 on getting my credit score. But I'm like, your mind is not ready to own a home. If you don't want to spend $29 or $39 to know your true score, and you're telling me you want to be a home buyer, you can't have a $39 mindset trying to purchase $1,000 house or homes. You just can't do it. I'm going to say that again. You can't have a $39.99 mindset if you're trying to purchase a house worth thousands. You got to get your mindset up. Yes, Carl, Navy Federal is great. It said LOL. What's the name of the company I want to join? Kiddo, what company are you talking about? Okay, Curtis said Delta Credit Union. Are you talking about the credit repair company? What company? Anyone interested in earning residual passive income, credit repairs, one-time investment, small investment of $249. If you get 3 people to join as business partners with you, and the best home-based business you want to be a part of is one that eventually you don't have to pay any monthly fees, right? That you can get out of those monthly fees and you continue to make residual income. So if you get 3 people who want to become your business partner, your monthly membership investment is free, no cost. Or if you get 7 customers who want to just get there, and it's got 3 components. It has the credit max, it has money max, equity max, and wealth max. I'm a member of Navy Fed and I have my FICO. Okay, that's great. Tell them to check. Credit Karma is good. Credit Karma is good, but it does not give you all 3 credit scores. And it also only gives you your Vantage score. So you won't have your true FICO score what the banks and lenders use. And you won't have Experian. Now, Experian do have a FICO 8 model that you can get and sign up with them for free. That will be your FICO 8 score, unlike Credit Karma, which will only show your Vantage score, right? Which is, Vantages mean it's not the score, the official score, that is not FICO. And FICO is what banks and lenders use. So, credit repair business real quick. You can go over that with you all. Some people are ready to work from home. And you know what I found out, people, which is so sad? No, my FICO is not free. It's not free. It's a small investment. 19, it's 3 different plans, $19, 29 and 39. Right. And so mortgages, they pull from Experian, you can get it free. If you pay $29.99 a month, you will be paying for TransUnion Equifax as well, right? But if you're serious about using credit to create cash flow, people, you have to think in terms of, I'm not spending money, I'm making investments. So no, my FICO is not free. It's not. It's an investment. So I put the link in there that you all can learn. Some people, people need a home-based business, and they need one that's recession proof. They need one that's recession proof. And we talked about the upcoming events. Just know that a home-based business is also paycheck protection for you as well. And it allows you, does every credit bureau have auto, FICO, home, FICO, general? No, like Experian just have FICO 8, and that's it. And so you won't know, for example, your what your FICO 3 or 4 or 5 score is, which is used to determine your mortgages. Your FICO 8 is usually for your vehicle financing and loan, right? And then your FICO 9, which most people think that FICO 9 is not used. FICO 9 is widely used by, I know, Navy Federal and PenFed as well, and Wells Fargo. And so FICO 9 is widely used so that you get mainly credit cards at this time, right? They're already transitioned to FICO 9. When will the recession start hitting? It's already here. It's already here, honey. Have you not heard, or sir, or ma'am, that we got 10 million Americans that's unemployed right now? The government is printing out stimulus package, which is depreciating or lowering the purchasing power, right? From spend words to invest. Exactly, Curtis. Does every credit, yeah. Recession is here. The question is, how big is the bubble going to be and how bad it's going to be? Because you have other countries right now, they're picking a global depression. They're saying that our generation, that what we are headed to will be what our ancestors are of the Great Depression experienced in the 30s. We will experience what they experienced. So let's prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. Can we all agree to do that? G-Red said facts. Can we prepare for the worst while we're hoping for the best? Let's just do that, because I think I stated earlier that the Chinese word for crisis is the same word for opportunity. And I'm telling you all, you can get your credit up, you can get silver and gold, physical silver and gold. You know anything about the stock market, it's still money to be made, whether the market does good and bad, if you know about trading in the stock market. I know nothing about trading in future contracts and options and day trading. But the things you need to invest in right now is businesses that you can work from home, and that's recession proof. That's why I'm speaking to people now about this credit repair business, because in July, 40 million American credit scores are going to drop. That's the most recession proof business I can tell you that you need to get in. And you need to have more business tax deductions, because when this stimulus package print out, you never get anything for free from the government. You're going to have to pay on the back end. That's what you pay on the back end. You're going to have to pay in taxes. So you need to have more tax deductions. Yeah. Pray for the best, prepare for the worst. And tell if we sign up for the credit card based business and we don't get customers right away, do we have to pay? Yeah, you will have to pay a monthly fee or a monthly investment because you have a business. You're operating a business, people. It's not you have to work from home. You're operating a business. So the monthly fee or monthly investment is 116 a month. But this is how it works. You get 3 people and it's free if they also want to join you and do a business. You might have some people that just want a business, or you just get 7 customers and it's free. And the customers will pay $80 a month. And these will pay $249. And you get to be in our private Facebook group as well. Right? As well. Okay. We'll talk tomorrow. I'll give you a call tomorrow. I have your number. You say you're ready to start. Yes, car, junior, business credit, and personal credit is the key. But this is the thing about the home-based business as well. You get all these tax deductions, 475 available to, and the Money Max program, your mileage on your vehicle. Yeah, you all help me with mileage. I can't even, getting kind of late. Cell phone bills. It's now for business use, so it's tax deductible. Um, your children can help you work in the business. You have children, instead of just giving them money. And I know a lot of your grocery bills up are high because you're feeding them because they're out of school. So you give them money and you let them go make their groceries, right? Up to age 17, $12,000 tax write off. Age 17. And these are just the business tax deductions I can think of right off the top of my head because it's 11:06 my time. So I put that link in there that you all need to go. And it also helped. I talked about in the beginning of this video the difference between credit and debt. It helps you with debt elimination strategy, right? If you need debt elimination. And so what happens is it also has a credit restoration program. So if you don't have an advanced credit issue or you have a credit background, this will really help you because it helps you to restore, enhance, and rebuild and monitor and protect your credit as well, right? You upload your report, you have your own portable, it has smart credit reports for you, credit rebuilding center, consultation, credit max overview. So when you get customers and they pay $80, you get half of it. They pay you half at $40. And so after your 7th customer, you still get half of the $40 that the customer paid. And we talked about residual income. $10 as long as they remain a customer. So that's residual income, and that's additional income because I have some people who they need the Money Max program. They need to maximize the money in their paycheck. And this is the only way that you can transfer your social security number into an EIN or tax ID number. Either you can try to build a business on your own or you just operate under the umbrella of an already established business. You get the same tax deduction that a McDonald's franchise would get, right? That's one way of keeping more of the money that you make instead of just giving your kids groceries. So, because we have to talk about protection tools to keep more of the money we make as well, instead of just keeping it in envelopes and thinking that's the only way to keep more money. No, you have to keep as much money legally from Uncle Sam that you're allowed to. We give too much of our money in forms of taxes. You'll always be living paycheck to paycheck, and you'll always be broke, right? And so a lot of people don't know the correct way to complete their their paycheck, their W-4. In 2020, for example, there's a whole new W-4 format. So when you join a credit business, home-based business, you get consultation from professionals about how to adjust and correctly fill out your W-4 as well, because now you are getting business tax deduction. So you're able to bring more money home out of your paycheck if you're fortunate enough to still have your job. If you don't have a job, this is a great way to earn residual income, because the number of people who credit score will plummet within the next 3 months is going to be devastating. And credit for some people there's only ways they're going to have survival tools. It's the only way they're going to be able to make groceries, to buy those things they need until their life get balanced again, right? With employment, with a steady stream of income, with the job. Right. So hello, Sion and Lewis. Hello. And so then it has other components of it as well. Equity max ties into money max with debt elimination strategies. I gave you some earlier. If you are just not coming in, watch the beginning of this. We talked about how to pay down a mortgage through credit in 5 to 7 years versus 15 to 30 years. And then the last component of this, after you resolve your debt, get your credit, get your equity max, get more cash flow. People, you have to increase your cash flow. Cash flow is king. Cash flow and credit right now is what you need. You need the queen and king together, right? To be able to make the moves you want, to be successful in this upcoming months. So then you get a wealth generation plan and strategies to start building generational wealth. So I think a lot of people sleep on investing in businesses as well. But make sure your business is recession proof, right? Make sure it's recession proof, people. Who can you trust? Looks like, I don't know, looks like we got another person that may have some issues on. Well, let me see what they're trying to ask. Trust concerning what, Lewis? You know, in my area of work, trust with your money. That's a great question. I want you to go wherever you are after you log off and look in the mirror. That person you can trust all day. Trust all day. If you're disciplined with your money, more than anyone. The second option for me would be a credit union, because banks do have bank freezes on amount of money you can withdraw, having access to your security account, your safety deposit box. A lot of banks' lobbies are closed, and that's credit unions are giving out the best credit, and I would trust the credit union right now versus over a bank. Okay. Yes, Annie Taylor, I am preparing. I have been in the house for 1 week and 4 days. I am on furlough. Our customers pay $80 a month. Yes, your customers, if they just want to be a customer, you have some people who may not want to be in the business. They just may say that, hey, I can afford $80 a month to get credit repair. And some people sometimes ask me, what's the difference between someone using the business you're promoting at $80 a month and someone going through you? Me, I'm just faster. I'm better. I do a lot of things that most credit businesses don't do, like get deletions of your old names and addresses off. Having more than one name reporting address will lower your credit score 2 to 5 points for every address that you have reporting. That's done. It's not an easy process, as some people think it is. It's a dispute within itself. So people get that, then they get a clean credit profile, clean credit report. Because even with Navy Federal, they don't really look at your credit score. They look more at your credit profile, right? And so you have to have that clean profile as well. And a lot of negative accounts are connected to addresses that you used to live. So meaning that if you got a collection at 111 Main Street, and that's where that mailing of that collection or the mailing of your credit card bill for that charge off or the address you had on file for that bankruptcy, once you get that address attached, detached, or removed, then it's easier. It's like having a warm knife sliced through butter. It's easier now to get those negative derogatory accounts connected with it. And it just makes you look like a more stable and creditable person if you don't have 5 or 6 addresses reporting, right? Inquiry removal, I help people through that as well. And but other than that, if you have clients that cannot afford to pay, upfront, because that's how I require it, then they may have to be on a month-to-month plan. And the month-to-month plan is efficient and they do great work. But they're not going to throw everything into the kitchen sink and put all your disputes in one affidavit at one time, like I do. And so that's it. But for some people, if their financial situation change, this is what they're going to need. This is what they can afford, right? And that's changing. Have you ever seen the movie The Big Short? No, I haven't. Lou, I never have. Speedy Clippers, do you have a Facebook page with more info on the credit repair? There is a private Facebook group, but you have to have already joined as a financial Speedy. Are you my friend at Facebook? Because you've already joined. Are you my friend on Facebook? Because I need to add you to that private Facebook group. You've already joined. Okay. If you are on Facebook, send me a friend request and send me and let me add you to the group. You should already be in our group. So I'm glad you asked that question because you were already in the business. So I need to add you to our Facebook group. So send me a friend request on Facebook. You should find me. Let me put the link in here as the Queen of Credit on there. And I put my Facebook page link. So you can send me that friend request. And so that's my page. So send me that friend request so I can get you in our group. All right, people. Got a lot of work to do in my condo. May not be able to go live tomorrow. This was a wealth of juice from you all. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So if I'm not going live tomorrow, thank you, huh? Then what's today? Tuesday? Maybe Thursday will be my next live. So hey, you all have a great night. This is to your peace and prosperity, your credit and your cash flow, into your health and your wealth. Queen of Credit out. I would absolutely love to join. I rewatched the whole thing. Thank you, Nadia B. I enjoyed you all as well. Well, come on, let's partnership, right? Because like I said, the Chinese, the same, and I know you all might not want to hear much about China, but hey, you get an instant pay raise as well. So even in the business, and I didn't really elaborate, but you upload and Speedy Clippers, I need to make sure you're doing this as well. Your recent tax return, your last 2 page stubs. Hello, right. Congratulations on your decision. Oh, I think. More of your hard-earned money. So your last 2 page stub, you get a 3 previous year review of your tax return and last 2 pay stubs, right? And you give them 2 to 3 business days, analyze that and let you know, hey, This is your newly updated, downloaded, and printed the corrected W-4, because you can have too many taxes being taken out of your paycheck. So you can get an instant paycheck pay raise. This all comes with the home-based business. So it's just not credit repair. It's giving you tax deductions as well as an opportunity to make passive and residual income. And then your second strategy is to keep tracking of all your mileage, your expenses, your receipt. And so they give you an app on your phone, because you use your home-based business to pay to for the tax laws to pay less taxes, right? So you get your tax app, you activate it, and it's on your mobile phone, it's on your mobile device. And then if you have any questions, they have a customer service number. I'm going to put this in the link for you all when you join, because I've already put um, the link to get started. And you can email them and you can call. See, with me, I have a lot of clients that I don't even, get an opportunity. Hello, PA Music Diva, to do business with me, because they tell me I'm a person that like phone conversation. I like to talk to people first. I don't have that time. I can only talk and text with paid clients. So my protocol is you have to send me a text or an email before we talk on the phone, because I have tried to talk with pre-clients or people that had pre-questions prior to enrolling, and it always end up the same way. I don't care if they say, "Hey, I just need 5 minutes of your time." It never ends in 5 minutes. And so by the time I give 20 people a day about 20 minutes of my time, I have put time away from working on my clients that paid me to do their credit. So those are my prerequisites. But with this company, you can talk to people on the phone. They have customer service in place, right? So, that's what I do with credit. I go above and beyond, do the addresses, do the profiles, get you the quickest results I can. But now I don't have the time and I don't have the trademark to teach people my strategies, but I can connect them to a business where they can have multiple streams of income, which is what you need. And they can help people at a very affordable prices and get many services for the price of one, right? In the meantime, to help themselves. So I'm helping you to help others as you help yourselves as well. So it's just a wealth of things that you get with this company and organization. And I love it. And that's why I highly recommend it. And I put my name behind it. Right. All right. So I think this is my third time signing off. Hey, I always say this, right? To your peace and prosperity, credit and cash flow, and your health and wealth. Probably see you all again live on Thursday, right? Unless I just want to give you some short clips of what's going on with the progress of my condo or whatever's going on, right? So I see you all again live. You all have a great night.